Good afternoon, girls. Till now, whatever codes we have learned in Unit 3, all are almost used to detect either systematic or non systematic errors, one bit errors, or burst errors. But now, today we will learn about important concept called Hamming code, which is the most important, widely used, easily understandable error detection and correction concept, which is used to detect more than one bit errors in the code which is transmitted through a channel. So let's get started. Here in the PPT, I would discuss about the contents like introduction part, steps to detect the error, steps to correct the error using Hamming code, examples of arranging redundancy bit in a given block of data, example of how to detect and correct error using Hamming code and redundancy bit check using even or odd parity, and the last concept will be Hamming distance and how it has to be calculated, and I will discuss one example to demonstrate Hamming distance in a block of code. Before I start with the PPT, I sincerely kindly request all the girls to please sit with a book and a pencil in order to understand this concept well. If you have any doubts, you can approach me. I will answer your doubts if you raise. Because I'm focusing more and stressing more about Hamming distance because this is the important topic, and you might also expect the question for a long answer. He may ask you to discuss about Hamming code in brief, or he may ask you to discuss it in deep along with an example. Okay, after you refer this PPT, I will also give you a reference link in the YouTube, which will make you understand the example in a better way, solving an example in a better way. Okay, now coming to the introduction part of Hamming code. Hamming code is a block code that is capable of detecting up to two simultaneous bit errors and correcting single bit errors. It is used to detect 2-bit errors and it will correct single bit errors also. It was developed by a person called R.W. Hamming for error correction. In this coding method, the source encodes the message by inserting redundant bits within the message. The extra bits which we add along with the message to be transmitted are called redundant bits. We have learned this in parity check. Code word and the parity bit. These redundant bits are extra bits that are generated and inserted at specific positions. Underline the word specific positions. In this case, redundant bits, which are the extra bits that are generated, they are inserted at specific positions in the message itself to enable correction and detection of error. When the destination receives this message, that means when the sender receives this message, he performs recalculations to detect errors and find bit position that has an error. Now, how to encode a message by Hamming code? The procedure used by the sender to encode the message consists of the following steps. Step number 1 is calculation of number of redundant bits. It depends upon the block or the byte length you are transmitting. Step 2, positioning of redundant bits. Step 3 is calculating the values of each redundant bit using parity check. Once the redundant bits are embedded within the message, this is sent to the user. Now we will see what all will be done in step number 1, that is calculation of number of redundant bits. If the message contains m number of data bits and r number of redundant bits are represented by r. If they are added to message so that mr is able to indicate at least m plus r plus 1 different states. I will tell you how this is possible while considering an example. Here, m plus r indicates location of an error and small m plus r indicates bit positions and one additional state indicates no error. Since r bits can indicate 2r states, 2r must be at least equal to m plus r plus 1. That is the different states. Thus the following equation will hold: 2r is greater than or equal to m plus r plus 1. This is just theoretical part. You just remember them as a formula. Step number 2, positioning the redundant bits. This here following this step is very important. The r redundant bits are placed at bit positions of powers of 2. Powers of 2 starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. 2 to the power of 0 is 1 because something to the power of 0 is 1. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. So on. So 2 to the power of 0 will be 1. 2 to the power of 1 will be 2. 2 to the power of 2 will be 4. 2 to the power of 3 will be 8. 2 to the power of 4 will be 16. So the bits will be 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, etc. That depends upon the powers of 2, where n will be starting from 0 to infinity. They are referred in the rest of the text, rest of the slides as R1. R1 means power of 2 to the power of 0. R2 is 2 to the power of 1. R3 is 2 to the power of 2. R4 is 2 to the power of 3. So R1 is nothing but first bit. R2 is nothing but 2 to the power of 1 second bit. R3 is nothing but 2 to the power of 2 fourth bit. R3 is nothing but 2 to the power of 4, that is 8th bit. That's why R1 is at position 1, R2 is at position 2, R3 is at position 4, and R4 is at position 8. I will repeat once again. The redundant bits are placed at specific bit positions according to the powers of 2. 2 to the power of n, where n starts from 0, 1, 2 and so on. If n is equal to 0, that is 2 to the power of 0 is equal to 1, is named as R1 and the bit is at position 1. Next, n is equal to 1, that means 2 to the power of 1, which is equal to 2, represented by R2 at position 2. Till here you will not have any confusion. Next, when n is equal to 2, it will be 2 to the power of 2, that is 4. Name is R3, position is at 4, right? Next one, 2 to the power of 3, that is 8. Name is R4. Names are continuous, R1, R2, R3, R4. But R4 is at what position? 2 to the power of 3, that is equal to 8. Therefore, it is named at position number 8, bit number 8. If you have a code which is greater than 8 bit, then you will have R5, which is 2 to the power of 4, that is 16. It is at the position 16, like that, so on, depending upon the length of your block. Step number 3 is calculating the values of each redundant bit. Now you have assigned redundant bits at a specific position. Now you have to calculate the values of each of the redundant bits, that is R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and so on. The redundant bits are parity bits. A parity bit is an extra bit that makes the number of ones either even or odd. We have already discussed what are parity bits, what are the different types of parity checks, that is even parity and odd parity. In even parity, total number of bits in the message are made even by setting it to 1. In odd parity, total number of bits are made odd by setting it to 1. Theory around this is each redundant bit is calculated as parity, generally even parity. By default, Hamming code will utilize even parity. Based upon, until and unless it is mentioned you have to use odd parity, you have to consider it as even parity only. It covers all bit positions whose binary representation includes a 1 in its ith position except the position of RA. This I will explain whenever we consider an example. Now, understanding the concept. Understanding the concept in the sense, how do we represent R1, R2, R3, so on. R1 is the parity bit for all the data bits in the positions whose binary representation includes 1 in at least one position, excluding 1. Simply remember, R1 means you have to consider bit numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, all the odds. R2 means 2 to the power of 1, no? 2 to the power of 1 is 2. So you have to consider 2 bits at a time starting from 2, 2, 3. You will exclude 4, 5. you will consider 6 7. Again you will exclude 8 9. Later you will consider 10 11. Like that you have to consider first 2 bits, leave second 2 bits, again first 2 bits, next 2 bits you have to leave. And r3 means 2 to the power of 2, that is position number 4. So from 4 you count 4 bits, 4 5 6 7. Next you leave 4 bits, 8 9 10 11. Again you consider 4 bits, 12 to 15. Again you skip 4 bits, 16 to 16 17 18 19 16 to 19, like that. Once again I will repeat this. If you are considering the redundant bit r1, then in the given data you have to consider bit numbers 1 3 5 7. That means you are skipping one bit in between. If you are considering r2 redundancy bit 2, then you have to consider 2 bits at a time starting from 2, because it is power of 2, 2 to the power of 1, that is 2. Consider 2 3, skip 4 5. Next consider 6 7, skip 8 9. Next consider 10 11, skip 12 13, and so on. Okay. Next r3 means it is 2 to the power of 2, value is 4, so it will start at position number 4. So from 4 you consider 4 bits, 4 5 6 7. Again you skip next 4 bits, 8 9 10 11. Again you consider next 4 bits, 12 13 14 15, so on. If you have r4, then r4 is the power of 2 to the power of 3, that is 8. Start from 8, 8 9 10 11. Skip 4 bits, 12 13 14 15, like that. Gradually you will not get r4, you will get only up to r3. If the code word is more than 16 bit, then you will get r4. Decoding a message. Encoding is done now. Now decoding a message. Decoding a message using Hammond code again have 4 steps. Once the receiver gets the incoming message, it performs recalculation to detect for errors, and later it will correct. What are the steps for recalculation? Calculation of number of redundant bits, position of redundant bits, parity check, error correction and detection. Now we will see calculation of number of redundant bits. Using the same formula as in encoding, the number of redundant bits are ascertained. You have learned this condition already. Step number 2. The redundant bits placed at bit positions of powers of 2. I already explained you what are 1 to 4 8 16. Now step number 3, that is parity checking. I already told you have to utilize even parity condition. Parity bits are calculated based on the data bits and the redundant bits using the same rule, and during the generation of C1, C2, C3, C4. C1, C2, C3, C4 are nothing but parity bits. C1, here we will consider bits from 1 3 5 7 9. I told you how we will consider. C2 2 3 6 2 3 6 7 10 11. How? You have to consider 2 3, skip 4 5, consider 6 7, skip 8 9, like that. Similarly C3 from 4 to 7, because the bits position starts from 4, because it is 2 to the power of 2. 4 to 7, skip 4 bits, 12 to 15, skip 4 bits, 20 to 23, and so on. Now last step is error correction and detection. The decimal equivalent of the parity bits binary values are calculated. If it is 0, there is no error. Otherwise, decimal value gives the bit position which has error. For example, after calculating the bits C1, C2, C3, C4, if the data is like this, it implies that data bit at position 9, because 1001 represents decimal equivalent of 9. So there is a error in position number 9. The decimal equivalent of 9 is 1001, has an error. This bit is flipped to get the correct message. Here I am considering a 12 block code. Okay, a Hamming code can be applied to the data unit of any length and uses the relationship between data and redundancy bits. For example, a 7-bit ASCII code. If you are considering 7-bit ASCII code, for 4 redundant bits, you need 4 bits that can be added to the end of the data unit or interspersed between original data bits. I'm considering 11 block of data like this. As I told, I will consider R1, R2, R4 and R8 as redundancy bits represented by R. Remaining all are data bits represented by D. You can observe here. Here I am just mentioning the places of redundant bits. That is 2 to the power of 0 is 1, 2 to the power of 1 is 2, 2 to the power of 2 is 4, 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Did you understand? Once again I will tell. Redundant bits are calculated as powers of 2, where 2 power n, where n starts from 0. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. First redundancy bit, that is R1. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. Second redundancy bit, that is R2, starting at position number 2. Third one, when n is equal to 2, 2 to the power of 2, 4, starting at position number 4. 2 to the power of 3 is equal to 8, starting at position number 8. So these 4 are redundancy bits which are added to the actual message, and remaining all are represented by D, depicting that they are data bits. Now, how to calculate R1, redundancy bit 1? Redundancy bit 1 counts what all bits? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. You can see for 1 the representation is 0001. For 3 the representation is 0011. For 5 0101. 7 0111. So that is the binary equivalent of this decimal number. Now next, redundancy bits calculation now. R1 we have seen. Now what about R2? R2 takes bit positions 2, 3. You have to skip next 2 and next consider 6, 7. Skip the next 2, consider 10, 11. So if you observe, only 2 and 3 are represented here. 2 is 0010, 3 is 0011. He is skipping 4 and 5 and he is considering 6 and 7. Where binary equivalent of 6 is 0110, binary equivalent of 7 is 0111. He is skipping 8 and 9 and considering 10, 11. Binary equivalent of 10 is 1010, that is A. Binary equivalent of 11 is 1011, that is B. Similarly, R4 takes places from 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. 4 binary equivalent, 5 binary equivalent, 6 and 7 binary equivalents are considered. Next, for R8, you have to consider from 8 bits. But here you have only 11 bits. So you will consider up to 8, 9, 10, 11. And the binary equivalents. If you want me to explain, I will explain once again. Redundancy bits 1 will be at positions 1, 3, 5, 7, odd numbers now. So here the numbers are nothing but binary representation of the numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Similarly, R2. R2 will consider the position starting from 2, skipping 2, considering 2. 2, 3 we are considering. We are skipping 4, 5. 6, 7 we are considering. 7, 8, 9 we are skipping. 10, 11 we are considering. So, whatever numbers are represented here, the binary values of those numbers are represented in binary form. Similarly, for R4, position starts from 4. Consider 4 and skip 4. 4, 5, 6, 7 he is considering, remaining he is skipping. The binary equivalent of 4, 5, 6, 7 are considered. Similarly, for R8. Now here is an example how to calculate the parity bits. Now the data is 1001101. It is arranged in only the data positions. If you observe, R1, R2, R4, R8 are redundancy bits. They are shaded with ash color. Now we have to calculate those positions as C1, C2, C3, C4. Now adding R1, that means we will use even parity. Now you have to cross check how many number of ones are present at bits 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. 1 is a redundancy bit, you leave. 3, 5, 7, 9. How many ones are there? 3 ones. That means odd number of ones. So to make it even, you have to add it 1. And the bit should be set to 1. See, the bit is set to 1. Now next level, R2. For R2, what positions you have to consider? 2, 3. 2, 3. Skip 4, 5. Consider 6, 7. Skip 8, 9. Consider 10. Now you consider the previous ones. Adding R1 will result in that you calculate number of ones. Number of ones are 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of ones are even. So the next redundancy bit is set to 0 because they are already even number of ones. Now adding R4. Now consider bits in this one. How many bits are there? What positions you have to consider? 2, 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. So how many bits are there now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Even number of bits. So it is set to 0 again. Here you can see it is set to 0. Now for calculating R8, what you have to consider? the bits from um, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are the different bits? 1, 2. Considering the parity, 3. So they are odd number of ones. Hence it is set to 1. And the final code is this one. The data present in this. Now, after considering this data, to know Hamming distance, you have to consider the truth table of XOR. If you remember, it's well and good. If you don't remember, this is the XOR logic gate, and this is the truth table. XOR will exclude only one condition of OR gate. That is, when both the inputs are 1, output will be 0. Okay? This you refer once again. If both the inputs are same, the output will be 0. If any one of the input is 1, the output will be 1. Now, Hamming distance between two words is the number of differences between corresponding words. The minimum Hamming distance is the smallest Hamming distance between all possible pairs set in the words. Now, it is very simple to calculate. See, let us find Hamming distance between two pairs of words. What are the two pairs of words? 000, 011. Now, what you do? Add the corresponding bits. 0, 0, result will be 0. 0, 1, result will be 1. 0, 1, result will be 1. So, what is the result? 0, 0, 1. So, the Hamming distance is 2 because you have two 1 bit here, 1 bits here, 2 ones are there here. Next, the Hamming distance of the code 10101 and 11110. Now, 1 XOR 1 will be 0, 0 XOR 1 will be 1, 1 XOR 1 will be 0, 0 XOR 1 will be 1, 1 XOR 0 will be 1. So, the result will be 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. How many number of ones are there? 3. So, the distance is 3 because there are 3 ones. So, if you want to calculate Hamming distance, you just operate the given bits using XOR. And in the result, how many ones are there? That much is the distance, Hamming distance. If number of ones are 2, then the distance is 2. If the number of ones are 4, then the distance is 4. If the number of ones are 3, then the distance is 3. This is how you calculate Hamming distance. And maximum number of detectable errors using Hamming distance are d minimum minus 1, where d is the Hamming distance. The maximum number of correctable errors is given by d minus 1 by 2, where d minus is the minimum Hamming distance between two coders, and the mod represents smallest integer. Thank you guys. Once again, I ask you people to refer this PPT twice or thrice to understand how to solve redundant bit and how to calculate parity bits using Hamming code and Hamming distance.